it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Welcome to my YouTube channel, particularly if this is the first time you have joined me. If you want to see lots of cute papercraft projects, then this is the place to be. So do remember to subscribe by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner so that you will know when I post videos. Ring that alert bell as well and you will actually be alerted to me posting videos. So today I am making a project for the Stampers Showcase, but I'm also taking part in my own mini-series, which is Halloween or Christmas, you choose. This is my Halloween project, which is the project I've made for the Stampers Showcase, which is all about Halloween. So the project that I'm going to make on video is the Christmas version of this. Now I have lifted this straight from page 70 of the mini catalogue. So I'm using the Little Treats bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, and they go together. The only die that actually cuts out one of the stamps is this and this. The others are all, oh, I tell a lie, and the parcel. The others are all independent stamps or independent dies, but there are some really nice of both. So this spider, although there is a spider stamp, the stamp isn't the same as the die, and all I've done to get the pattern is, let me grab the die. All I did, you can see that there is embossing, or I hope you can see there's embossing in the die. So I just popped the die into my basic grey ink pad and pressed it very gently. So I inked up the die and then ran it through the die cutting machine. So the embossed area is basic grey. It's a great way of using your dies in an additional way. So this is, as I say, the one in the catalogue. Let me show you how I am going to make the Christmas version. So I have already die cut the box. I want to show you how to get the embossing, because there's embossing front and back. You could do it just on the front, but I like the idea that it's embossed on the back as well. I'm also going to be using some of the festive felt for my circle. So where here I've got the Happy Halloween. This is Bumblebee, by the way. So Bumblebee ribbon and Bumblebee card. And then this is from the Pet Suite. I can't remember what it's called. It's Pampered Pets, I think, from the annual catalogue. So this is the black and white twine that I've just unravelled and then tied a bow round and popped on some spiders. So I'm going to cut my circle out of the felt. I've already put on some of the double-sided adhesive sheet, so that will become a sticker. But before I run this through the die cutter, I also want to stamp my Santa's hat, because then I can run them both through at the same time. So I've got my real red ink. I'm going to ink up my Santa's hat and stamp that. I do like to leave my stamps on the paper for a while so that there is some hope of the ink transferring across. If you stamp too quickly, you're really not giving the ink a chance to move. So do, you know, leave it in place for a wee while. Obviously you need to hold it in place, make sure it doesn't move, otherwise you'll get a smudged image. So that's my stamp clean. Let's take that off and pop it back into the stamp case. And right, okay, so we'll die cut those pieces, then I'm going to show you how to do the embossing on the box, and then we'll put it all together. So let's pop that there, then you might actually be able to see it properly, or almost properly. So I'm going to pop on my felt. Now, because I haven't got the adhesive strip right in the centre, I'm just going to make sure that that is reasonably centred. Then my hat. and my... So this is the moment an aeroplane decides that flying over is a truly clever idea. So then we've got our little Santa's hat. Now I could use the magnetic sheet, but the magnetic sheet is not great with the felt because the felt is too thick really. So I'll just pop a little bit of washi tape on to make sure my hat doesn't move. Pop on my second number 3 plate and go through. The crack there was because, or the crackle I should say, was the die just going through the adhesive sheet. So you can see it has die cut it beautifully. Let's get rid of that bit, get my hat, and I'm just going to reorganize my plates. So to do my my embossing on my box, I'm using the Dainty Diamonds 3D embossing folder. So because it's a 3D embossing folder, we just need the number 1 plate and the number 4 plate. These come with your machine, so you don't need to worry. And then I'm just going to open up my embossing folder. I kind of want it, do I want it going in or coming out? Ooh, decisions. I think I'll have it going in. So I'm going to pop my die cut piece into the embossing folder along this edge, and I want it to be reasonably straight and reasonably square. That's actually going to have it coming out. No, that's fine. Actually, I think out would be nice. So I'm going to make sure that it's square within the embossing folder. And because there are some nice straight lines on the dainty bit, it's easy. Then this flap I'm going to fold over the top, and it will just fit through without causing any damage. So let's feed that through. It's going to be quite stiff because it is a 3D embossing folder. You want to go all the way through and then pop it back. Oops, or not, because I forgot that we've got the bit poking up. And then we've got, sorry, bashing the camera, then we've got our nice embossed piece. So all we're going to do is, this time, got a bit of fuzzy. So this time I'm actually going to go through, should I go through that way? I think I will go through that way so that I don't end up doing weird stuff to what I've already die cut, or embossed rather. So that looks reasonably square. Pop that onto my plate, pop my embossing plate over the top and run that through. And once I get to the bit where it gets very stiff, I'm going to come back the other way, because that tells me that I've got to the edge of the embossing folder. So let me move that out of the way, and there we go. So we've got embossed back and front. These bits are going on the inside, this is the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to pop this together first, and then I will sort out my die cut pieces, because this is going to be glued. So I'm just going to fold in my edges and my sides, or my front and back I suppose more correctly. There we go. Right, so these are then going to be folded in as well. The score lines are put into your card for you by the die, so it's really easy. You just have to fold. And this is where I end up getting glue everywhere. So I'm going to pop glue onto that piece. So my slit is just here, so I've got glue to the outside of my slit. on both sides, and then that goes, so my tab goes in through the slit like that, and this tab also goes in through the slit. Now you could use tear and tape. I just like the fact that the liquid adhesive will give you a little bit of wiggle room. And then I'm going to add some more adhesive here and here. Don't need too much, it's just to kind of hold body and soul together. And then pop that up. Now, did I say this was Mossy Meadow? Because it is Mossy Meadow. And then just press those in place. So those need to just dry for a little bit. So there's perfect time for me to leave that to dry. Now, if you put a block in, it will hold. So this is my B block, and it's about the right size to go in there. So if I put that there and put my D block on top, it will help hold body and soul together. So if we take this off, we've got our embossing, even though it's felt. So I hope you can see that. And then let's remove my piece of washi tape, and I've got my little hat. Pop my little hat back where it came from. I do like to try and put things back where they came from. Don't always succeed. Pop that back. And I'm going to pop a dimensional on the back of my hat. Like that. I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. And this is the clear Wink of Stella. And just add a little bit there. And a little bit here. Just mind that you don't touch the ink unless you want the ink to be drawn into the area that, as far as I am concerned, is white, because this will drag the ink in. It's great if you want a frosted look. Okay, so I'm going to use some of the Real Red braided linen trim, and I want a reasonable amount, which I'm then going to, once I've got it in, I'm going to fray. So we'll get the same sort of look as we had with the other trim. And then I want a piece, actually shall I use? No, I will use this again. A piece to tie a bow. So let's call that stuck. So I'm going to take my double ends, because they're easier. Pop those through the slit one side, through to the other side, like that. And then I'm going to take my other piece of braid, tie that in a half knot, just make sure that everything's reasonably taut. So tie that in a half knot, and then tie a bow. So that's the bow bit. Obviously it's a bow. It would be a bow if I could get it to sit nicely. There we are. Trim my ends. They're about the same length. Then I'm going to cut my loops, and actually I'll cut those straight first. So just line those up. Oh, I've got one of my loops still. Line those up, cut them straight across, and then you can fray these. So just pull them apart so you get that same look. So I'll finish that off before I take the photos, but just to save time for the moment, let's remove that from my piece of felt. My piece of felt will then stick really easily to my box, and then we can pop this on top, and we've got our Christmas version and our Halloween version. So very much traditional Christmas and traditional with a twist Halloween. So I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, if you like watching videos showing you how to make really cute 3D and card projects, please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, leave those below. I always reply to all questions, all comments, so that would be lovely. If you want to see the close-up photos and also join in the blog hop, then you can go to my website, which is linked in the description bar below, associated blog post, and follow along the hop. Thank you very much indeed for watching today. Do remember, if you're in the UK and you need any Stampin' Up products, I would be thrilled to be your demonstrator. And if you want to join Stampin' Up, there is a promotion on at the moment, which means you get lots of free stuff. So do take advantage of that. There is information on that over on my website. And you can join my team if you're in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands. And I would be it would be wonderful to welcome you to my team. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!